Hello, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Aguilar. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Erin. Alright, we'll get right started into it.
Alright, let's do it.
Hold on, I just gotta find it. Good. Alright. What made you choose music therapy?
Wow, that is a great question. For me, I saw an article whenever I was a junior in high school about music therapy, and I read about all the influences that it has on people's lives, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do music therapy. I didn't know it existed until I saw that article, but when I did, I knew that's where my heart should be, just because I want to make an impact on people's lives and help them grow or develop.
And I see here that you graduated in a shorter amount of time than most people do.
Yes,
That's pretty interesting. What made you progress so quickly?
Well, honestly, I had a job, so I was here at school all summer long, so I thought might as well take some classes, and although I never really had a summer, it was worth it in the end to get out in at least 4 years, because it is a 5-year program. Save some money as well.
Alright, on that subject, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years? I'd like to be settled somewhere. I want a house, but I know in a career term, I'd like to either be a private practice music therapist or be somewhere with a company with hospice care. I'd like to do hospice sometime. Even with my own private practice, if I had my own private practice, I might want to work with kids as well. Try and get as diverse as possible. But if I was with a company, I'd be with the hospice company.
Alright, what kind of experience do you have in the hospice field?
Whenever I was a child, I used to go to hospice care facilities with my mother. We used to volunteer our time and go on the weekends just to see all those people there. Because a lot of the time, their families aren't close to them, so they don't have anybody in town to visit them. So for me, I would like to be in hospice care just so I could be that person for someone. Not everybody has a someone, and I'd like to give them kind of love. And music is a great way to show that you care for someone.
That's a long history with hospice. What are your specific goals between those, where you are now, just trying to get into your internship, and where you'll end up in 5 years?
So step-by-step goals?
Yes.
Obviously finish an internship, that's number one. Number two would be get a job, obviously in the hospice realm. And with that, maybe even go get my master's someplace. And if I do get this internship in Florida, I'd like to gain residency and then go to Florida State and get my master's there.
Alright. What do you see yourself proceeding in the music therapy master's, or are you trying to do something else in a related field?
My dual master's in music therapy and counseling.
Okay, interesting. In school, do you think your grades reflect your academic achievement?
I do. I work pretty hard, push myself a lot further, and like you said earlier, I took summer classes, so I obviously strive to be at the top of my class as much as I can.
What made you, I'm sorry, I got lost.
Oh, no, it's fine, yeah.
I see here that you have been in the same job since you started working, or going to school.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been? How do your peers perceive you?
I've honestly started at the bottom, and I worked my way to the top at the company. They keep trying to hire me as a manager, but I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. It's good to hold a job during school just so it pays the rent. But I feel like I was a leader in where I was, and people would always lean on me if they needed help. I was that person that they would run to if they had questions about anything, just because I like to be in charge, if that makes sense. I like to have some sort of ground where I know what I'm doing, and if someone else needed help, they would feel the need to come to me if they needed it.
Control is a good motivator. What else motivates you to work hard?
For me, it's seeing that smile on someone's face or the happiness that I can bring them, to see that person, my client, grow and develop and move on. Even hospice care, they're obviously not gonna get out of it. Sometimes they do. I'm not saying they don't, but it's not likely that they're gonna live past 6 months. But if they do, it's amazing. But if they don't, I would just like to be there to watch them ease their pain. So they're in a lot of pain right now. I would just like to ease their pain.
Gotcha. That's hospice is a field of high emotional drain. What coping strategies do you foresee yourself using?
Music as one, obviously, but I also maintain fitness pretty well. I like to go out and lift weights. It's a stress reliever for me, and running as well.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. It was really nice
Oh,
to
it was
meet you.
nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for taking your time.